We live.
We on live,
We are on live, sis. We are on live.
rocking and rolling, baby.
Okay. Hey. Hey now.
Hey, hey, hey.
Is you live from Miss Lovely?
Is you live?
We live. It's Miss Lovely, me, Robbie, and we got you got your name on there, not the other name.
Andy?
Yeah, that's what's on. You got Angie on there, not Miss Lovely. Lovely.
Yup,
It's okay.
yup, that's okay.
Okay. So you got Robbie and Angie. We on live. We just on here today, just talking about. It does not really even matter. We just feel like talking good, sis. That's what I'm talking about. I see it. Yes, ma'am. That's right.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It's sisterhood right there, sis. That's how you do that. Okay. So we doing our thing. We doing our thing. We just coming to you, shaking our head. We gonna shake our head. Can't believe it. Whatever we want to
and
do.
clutch our pearls.
There you go. Everything we talk about is really unbelievable. Shaking my head, new information, good. It's always we're gonna try to always keep it good and
Yes,
positive. Although sometimes we are not able to, sis. We just gotta tell it like it is on those instances and move along.
that's right.
That's right. But to what we was talking about, because we've been on for a while. We was talking in our back room. Um, we was talking about touch therapy at this point.
Yes, it's
And
clear. A
go
lot
ahead.
of people just need a great hug.
hmm And I think that sometimes um, the traumatic experiences that people go through cause them to long and miss the affection and love, or not so much as that because they can probably get that anywhere. It's just the sincerity of it because you can tell the difference between real love, fake love, and I just need you right now for something love. It's just so many different things and so many different levels of touch therapy and hugs and emotion.
Yes,
So,
a lot of people, a lot of people grow up with so much aggression built up, so much hurt, so much, just trying to figure out or trying to keep going. And touch therapy is when you can get a genuine hug. They have the therapeutic sessions and stuff like that, or just people in your life revolving around you that gives you, you know, um, love through touch, and it
hmm
can help a lot. It can really help a lot.
yes, hmm and that is the truth. And I was telling Angie that something as simple as a hug can basically could be the difference between life or death,
Yes,
unaliving.
it can.
You know, it can be the difference. So I was telling a story that my grandmother one time was looking for her child. Um, he had disappeared. He was gone for almost, I want to say, 2 weeks, and her phone had broke. And this is my 84. She's 84. She's 85. My 85-year-old grandmother. And her phone, the cable company, the phone, the whole system had went down for her. Um, and she was on the phone calling him and calling him. And I was on the way to my son's baptism. My oldest son, he decided to join his church and get baptized or whatever. So I was getting ready for that. And she called me and she was crying. She was telling me I can't get my phone to work, and she didn't want. But the thing of it is, if her baby was in trouble, well, he's a grown man, but if her son was in trouble or needed her, she did not want to miss that call. And the fact that her phone was broken, she felt like, she just, you know how that goes when you know what I mean. Sis, when you looking for your babies and whatever,
Right.
yeah, that interference is in between them and them not being able to contact you, even if they're not trying. So she called me. She was crying. I was like, okay. I'm gonna say, okay, Gammy, I'm on my way to your grandbaby's baptism. I said, but I'll be there. I'm going to come over and try to fix your phone. And so I went over, and my grandmother was shaking like a leaf. She was crying. She was so nervous. She was upset. She was stressed. She was worried, and she was shaking like a leaf. When I tell you, I was just like, look. I was like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? and she was walking back and forth, and a lady was on the phone telling, "Oh, we can't help you right now. We're gonna have to send someone out Monday. It's Friday. You you know." She's like, "No, that's not." I said, "Come here again." I called her and I gave her a hug, and I hugged her and I rubbed her and I rubbed her. I said, "We're gonna get it fixed. Don't worry." I said, "I got you. I'm gonna figure it out." And I just hugged her and loved her. And she stopped
Yeah.
shaking and kind of calmed her down a little bit. And I said, "You sit down right here and just listen to whatever she's got to say. And she's going to be trying to contact one of her friends to try to come over and help you personally because she's seen how upset my grandmother was, which was the sweetest thing in the world for the lady to try to do." So that alone was enough to at least, I'm going to say, prevent anything that could have, I feel like could have happened because it gave her security that I'm here for you. I'm going to be here for you. We're going to figure this thing out together.
Right.
And I fixed it though. I sure
You
did.
did your thing.
I did my thing and then still made it to my baby's baptism. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Right.
"We gonna fix this right here. We got this." And
Yeah,
so,
'cause I was just looking up the signs of people that need you know touch therapy, or the signs of people where it might help. And so, just noticing that is I think I would, like I wouldn't mind like getting into like the cycle of the psyche of it all, like trying to figure out like, you know, is that what they're missing like mentally?
hmm
Like how does it affect a child when they grow up into an environment that's not necessarily that they don't necessarily give love or affection through touch?
how does it affect them when they grow up?
Right.
Yeah, that's it's a bad effect. It's a bad
Yeah.
effect, especially if they have kids. You know what I
So
mean?
like So like is that can you sense that on a person that they could possibly have missed that, and it might be the one thing that one of anything that they might need to like help, and it might actually make them better.
Can you sense it on them? Let me see. Well, I guess you can speculate that you sense it on them because,
Right.
and I said that because it can be misconstrued as for a person who's been molested, raped, or just in the domestic. This, it could be it could cross between any of them.
Right.
Because I think, and the ones that I've encountered is they don't want to be touched at this point. They don't want to be loved. They just want you to leave them alone. They don't know how to accept it. And if somebody does love them, they don't know how to. They don't know
Trust it.
how to feel. Yeah. So I think I don't. It's kind of if that's a hard one to distinguish, but I'm sure there's some kind of way too.
So you can see it, but sometimes it's not necessarily going to be easy for them to want it
Yeah, because
at
I
a
mean,
certain point.
yeah, it's like they've never. Only way I think personally, this is my thought. I think only way that they would want it is if they've seen it so often and they're like, why can't I have that for myself? But even then, they don't know how to accept it. They don't know how to work with it. They don't know, they don't know how to take it.
Right.
So that's, I don't know, because I'm just gonna be honest. Me after my domestic, um, after being a survivor of my domestic violence, I did not want a boyfriend. I didn't want
Right.
anybody touching me. I didn't want to wake up in the bed with somebody next to me. I didn't want to hear your mouth. Just leave me alone. Like, let
Right.
me live. Let me be me. Get away from me. I just didn't want. Like, no, 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 no. If somebody try to touch me, like even somebody try to give me a hug, like, oh, I don't know you. Move. Don't, no. Get on. Because I felt like they was sucking my soul out. My everything in me had been broken. And so now I'm trying to build it up. So I had a problem with the opposite touching me because I felt like,
Right.
yeah, it's like, nah, get away from me, man.
So
Get
do
away.
you feel like people can learn how to be their own touch therapist to themselves? Like giving themselves a hug or, maybe massaging their hands or something, just starting to feel themselves, like even foot massages and things like that. Like, do you think that that can begin the process to like ease themselves,
I
like a
I
soother?
I'm not gonna say yes to that, and I'm not gonna say no. But and the reason why I said that is because when your touch does not feel like somebody else's touch. You
That's
know,
true.
so it's I think that it's different. Um, I think the only way that you might be able to accept it and deal with it is if you basically work on yourself or work on it, or work to trust again or want to love, or
Right.
I don't even know, but I know what I did personally. I had to tap into me. I had to get past whatever I had went through. Not necessarily get over it completely, but I had to
Right.
get past it. I had to say to myself, okay, this was my part that I played in it, but I cannot control what other people do or whatever other people want to do. But the only thing that I can control, and the only part that I knew that I had to take responsibility for, is how I put myself in that situation, or how I put myself in that predicament, or how I didn't see those red flags. And so once
Right.
I got to that point and I was like, okay, I'm a grown woman, I took my responsibility. Um, Now I'm not going to say I'm not damaged anymore in that part. So now I can stand for another person to be around me. I now want to be loved in the way that I thought that I was being loved or touched
Right.
or feel. Maybe I don't know, but it's it's a difficult situation because then you go through the things with people. I don't know, man. That's a good one, sis. I don't know. That's a
Yeah. I
that.
mean, I was looking into it because I know that some people with high anxiety, I forgot what mental condition it was, but they get pets, and they a lot of that helps. Ooh, it was on the tip of my tongue. It's basically codependency, and they get pets, and that tends to help.
Yeah, I
And then
have one. That's
right.
yeah, that's how my dog is. It's a emotion, not emotion. It's not called emotional pet. It's a what are you, Angel? That's my puppy's name. Her name is Angel. Um, Emotional support dog is what I have. She
So
is
do,
not a service puppy. She's just for emotional support. So
right,
you're not alone. So therefore, you have that. Even if it's a puppy, you know you have to take care of somebody. You know you have to love somebody, not somebody. You know you have to take care of something. You know you have to love something. Now, mind you, I have children as well,
right.
but there's a difference between the children
I
and the
was just about to ask that.
and the man. The puppy is like that person that's not tied to you, that you didn't give birth, that you don't have that type of connection with, that you have to branch out and you have to give love to. You know what I mean? With
Right,
without because me personally, I feel like I owe it to my children. It is written law that I take care of my kids, that I love my kids, that I give them love. That's written. That's just in you. Period. For you
right,
not to want to do that or whatever, that's a whole nother story. But
right,
when you get the emotional support puppy, here's the thing: you can keep the puppy, or you can get rid of the puppy. You can take it back to the pound. You can give it away. Whatever. It's not technically really tied to you. So the fact that you could take it and love it and do make sure that it's okay is allowing you to want that. You know what I mean? Want I don't know. Baby, that's a good one right there. But that's, hey, my puppy is my baby. She get on my
Right.
nerves, but she is my baby.
Yes, a lot of people who have codependency issues, um, they if it's not treated or if they don't have any pets, a lot of them are in toxic relationships. A lot of them do attract narcissistic partners. A lot of them do become in abusive situations. A lot of that stems from neglect in childhood. And I think for the most part, the neglect is more of a emotional connection with their parents or a mental connection. And then, so a lot of people with the codependency, they try, they're people pleasers. They try to help. They try to uh, be the one that somebody can, get advice from. They try to be the one like the superhero because they want to show like they want to show everyone that this is how to love. This is how to love. I want to show you the right way. But it hurts them more because a lot of the times they don't receive it back. They don't receive it back. And so, cuz I deal with that with my situation. So I can read it, baby. I can read it, let me tell you. And what I've had to learn is you don't have to prove anything.
Girl, you finna speak. I turn my camera off. But let me tell you, you is speaking because, baby, I just said this to my mother today.
Yes.
Oh my God.
You don't have to
My
do
mother
it.
today.
It's not, you don't have to beg someone to see what the truth is.
That's
They
right.
see it. They can see it just as much as you do. And
Yeah.
then I've learned to say no.
Yes.
And then with my children, I constantly, we give hugs. I tell them I love them all the time. They tell it back because that's what I want. I want someone to tell me that they love me. I want someone to give me that affection and those hugs. And I give that back. And it's not perfect all the time, but it's more than what I had.
Yeah.
I realized what I was missing.
Yeah, because I tell my kids, I love you. I love you. And we have this thing where we compete, but it's not really a competition. It's very cute. And
Right.
I love you the most. I love you the most. I love you the most. Well, I love you the most at 6 times infinity. Well, I love you to the moon and back, and the moon and beyond. And that's just what we do. And it's a girl. It's a refreshing feeling because it's like an unconditional love. It's not a love stem. That's what stemmed off of needing and using. And so I've encountered a lot of trauma. I guess
Yes.
trauma is the word from that. People loving you conditionally or opportunists loving you because the opportunity is right at the moment. You know, I've encountered a lot of that. And I think that hurts more than
Yes.
you can imagine to know that you love somebody.
It's
Girl,
because you can see, especially when you've been through certain things and it's triggered certain insight within
mm,
you, you can see what a person needs. And what makes it worse is when you gravitate or when they gravitate to you in the form of a relationship or a friendship, you're constantly catering to what you see they need.
yeah, yeah,
And
and you,
that's not healthy
mm-hmm, mm,
because you're it's kind of a, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's kind of a trauma bond.
yeah,
And so that's not healthy because when they looked at you, they probably didn't see that that was your intent, and what your intent was not necessarily for a healthy relationship. It was more so for a health for for uh to you were looking to show someone growth. It's not necessarily like a friendship or a relationship form. That's not a healthy format to start a relationship.
Right. You have to, yeah. So, I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, so, and you wouldn't believe, so I'm able to talk about this now because
Right,
I feel like in doing the work with myself daily, 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 I feel like I've grown, so it doesn't really bother me as much as it used to bother me. So I
right,
can talk about what I'm about to tell you. So I did not grow up with my brothers and sisters, okay? Because my father my mother was younger than my father, and my father basically was a narcissist, a manipulator. My this was my dad. I love my dad. He's no longer here with us, but he was the loving kind, if that even makes sense. He would cater to people who needed him, and it
right,
stemmed from his childhood traumas. You feel me? So
right.
he loved people that needed him. He would love you more if you needed him more. The more that you need him, the more that he loves you, the deeper your bond could be. If
Mhm.
you did not need him, he's seen it as a sign of distrust, or, it was kind of one of those touch and go situations, right?
Mm.
So, and saying that and not saying too much, my mother met him, my mother was younger. He was a very well established man, lots and lots of everything.
Mhm.
When I say everything, I mean everything from women to money to cars to boats to he just was a well established everything, okay? And they say he was very, very handsome, very handsome.
Right.
So, um, when he met my mom was going through some things. She was raised by very stern, strict parents, and that's what I'm gonna say about that.
Right.
So uh, I, well, my mom outgrew the relationship. Okay, she
Right.
knew it, so, and I commend her for that. Even though she was traumatized over the relationship of things that happened in the relationship to her, she outgrew it. She was able to move along. And whatever, however her life took the course, we're going to skip past all that because that's her story.
Right.
So when it came down to me, my mom raised me because my dad, in turn, was not available.
Right.
Okay? He had lots and lots of girlfriends that needed him, that would do anything he wanted them to do because they needed him. My
Right.
mom on a, my mom was an heiress, and she was a queen heiress. So regardless of what it was, if she ain't want to do it, she wasn't gonna do it. You pretty much had to force her to do anything, if you understand what I'm trying to say at that point.
Right.
You had to force her to do anything. So my mom went on about her way. And I went along with my mom. And my mom, we struggled. We went through whatever we went through. I got to see my dad very little, not because my mom kept me, but because there is conditions. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So my my dad, he only claims four of his children. Me, my sister who's no longer with her, and my two brothers. Um, all the rest is up for grabs. They could be anybody's babies, but they not his type thing.
Right.
So I didn't grow up with them. I was with my mom, and then we went on about our business. So Pat, that's the history of that part. So this is why I don't know that side of the family because I was with my mother and just whatever. So when I became an adult, I ran into my brother in the place. My brother showed, hey sis, he thought I was my sister. He said I look exactly like my sister. He thought that's who he was. Okay, so I started going around him, hanging out with him, and so on and so forth, so forth. Well, something very grand happened, and it was the ability to do all sorts of nice, fun things. So my son told me, he says, I don't like her. I know that's my auntie, but I don't like her. I was like, why? He said she's an opportunist. And
Mm,
and my son's 13. I'm like, what you talking about? He's an opportunist. When it's convenient for her, she loves me and I'm her favorite nephew. And then when somebody else comes around, she forgets all about me and they become her favorite nephew because they can do such and such for her or do what. And I looked at him and that stuck with me in my head because I
mm,
never ever I didn't know, man. I just didn't know because I was raised you do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So all the ways that people were, I did not know. I just
right,
not but because by this time my mom's married and I have the most amazing stepfather in the world. This is that man I told you he never walked around in his underwear or no shirt. You know what I mean? He never
right,
adjusted himself. He never called my mom, me, none of us out of our name. He never raised his voice.
right,
You feel me? I was his baby. They call me Mikey. I was his Mikey. Everywhere my daddy went, I went. I felt more comfortable with him than I did with other people, you know. So I was very naive. And I said that to say this
yeah,
because I was so naive, I just searched for love. I just wanted love. I wanted everybody to love, 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 love. And dealing with people who were not raised with that, who don't know what it is, they sense out people who do only want love, the naive people, and they play on their emotions of love. And they pretend to give them these touches of love and they pretend to give them these, this affection and just simple things. And you have some who know the difference, and then you have people like me who did not know the difference because I was not around people. All my life, I've never been around a lot of people. You know what I mean? I've never been in a big family setting or nothing like that. It's just always been me, my mom, my dad, and my little brother. Um, so I didn't know, and that ruined me for a while because I began. Even now, I'm not gonna lie, I question everybody's motive behind their love. A man cannot meet me. Now, me, you, and our sisters, we can say we love you because we know what type of love that is. But I cannot meet a man today, and within a week, he's telling me he loves me. Within 2 weeks, he's telling me he loves me. 3 weeks, I'm like, what you want? Mm-mm.
Do you think that may be a trauma response?
Yes, it is. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Because now I feel like this love is just a word. You know what I mean? I don't want you to tell me. You can never in your life tell me you love me. I don't care. As far as in the man and me and the man in a relationship, I don't care. You never have to tell me you love me because
Right.
I feel like love is an action. Love is an emotion. Love is, a behavior. Love is this. So a man can tell you he love you every day, hence, hence, and beat the crap out of you every other week, hence, hence.
True.
So
Yeah,
how can you love me if you're hurting me?
that's true.
Those are not love taps.
That is true.
You feel me? Those are not the feelings and the emotions that I'm supposed to be feeling for love. You can't tell me. So a man that I'm in a relationship cannot tell me he loves me that fast. And if he tells me he loves me and he doesn't follow through with actions, me and him got a whole problem, and we probably
Right.
won't be in a relationship long.
So when it's like a new person, a new male that walks up and you guys are chatting just for instance, and he
I can't
walks
understand you,
up.
sis.
No, so a new guy, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So when a new guy walks up and you guys are chatting, just for instance, and then you guys start to date, and you feel like and then he says I love you, and you feel like it's too soon, is that automatically when the wall goes up or when the paranoia comes up?
Well, it depends on how he's saying he loves me. Let me go ahead and clarify that. He could
Right,
tell me, "Ooh, I love your demeanor. I love your behavior. I love your attitude. I love your spirit. I love your soul. I love this about you." You know, you can tell me something like that because people do connect in that way. But as far as him saying, "Ooh, I love you so much," "Ooh, you know," whoa, whoa, whoa. I need for you to break that down and clarify, what do you love? I'm going to question you at that point. What do you love? And if you cannot tell me what you love and why, then it makes no sense to me. To me, if you're saying you love me without the actions or anything to follow through, I need to know what makes you feel like you love me, or what makes, tell me this, because people have taken the word love and turned it into a joke. People nowadays do not know what love is, because love is not hurting somebody. Love is not mistreating them. Love is not dogging them out, beating them up, being degrading. These are not actions of love. God
so
is
does it bother you that they say it?
only when they're trying to be in a relationship with me and they don't mean it. Because you, like I said, when you've been through so much, you can tell the motive behind the word love.
Right,
I I can go out here and tell somebody right now, say, "Ooh, I love you. Ooh, I love you so much." But what do I love about you? Is it a superficial love because you look good? Then I need to say, "Ooh, I love the way you look." Because I take the word love serious in certain, like that kind of way, in a person that I'm going to give my body to, my soul to, my everything to, you know, that's probably what I should have clarified. So the difference between me and my friend saying I love you, you're my friend, I love you, we love each other. You know what I mean? That's our love. We love each
right,
other. But a person that I lay down with, that I'm giving my soul to, my body, you know what I mean?
right,
Because I love me so much, because I found out how to love me.
right.
If I'm going to give me to you, and you're supposed to give you to me, and you say you love me, we need to figure this. I need to know why you love me. I would rather for you to never say you love me and let us do whatever we're going to do, but do not play with the word love, because people don't understand how deep that word can go. To me, that word is like, when you play with that word, you're cutting my soul in a
So do
relationship.
you think that it's possible
Mhm.
for someone to tell you that they love you, and then one day when they say that, you won't need them to tell you why, because you can automatically tell?
Say that again, sweetie.
Like in the same scenario of dating a guy, do
Mhm.
you think that one day that not one day, but in this scenario, do you think that it's actually possible for a guy to say that and you won't need an explanation?
Exactly. Yes, it definitely is.
Right,
It, and so that's why I say love is an action, or so that's why I said I could be with somebody and they never in their life have to tell me they love me, but I
right.
know that they love me because of the
What they do.
and how
Right,
they treat me and how they make me feel, and most of all, that touch. I've had a person, let me tell you, um I knew that this person was not for me. I mean, not. No, let me rephrase that. I knew that because this person had went through some stuff back in his days, and he had a mistrust and a misplaced for women, um, and the different lives that we lived. I knew that we were not going to be in a relationship, full blown marriage, kids. I knew that. You know what I mean? That was
right,
never going to happen because of the two different worlds we were.
right,
But I knew that this man loved me, regardless of how mean he was or how he fake and fronted in front of people or whatever. You know what I mean? Not about me, but I'm just talking about how he act like he was Mr. Big Crap in front of other people.
Oh
But not,
yeah.
I'm not talking about me. But I knew that he loved me, and there was nothing in my head or in my mind that told me that he did not love me.
Right.
And one, the things that we did together, not talking about sex, the things that we did together were, first of all, were things that he had never done with other people, other women.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it has, now mind you, this has nothing to do with sex whatsoever. So there's one, because of his name and who he was and how people seen him in the streets and stuff like that. So that's one. How we were together. This was something that he never let a woman get close to him enough to do. Okay?
Okay.
So not only did he trust me, but he loved me. He loved me enough to trust me. And so he never had to tell me he loved me or anything because of some of the things that we did.
Right.
I know in the way that when he touched me, how he touched me, and it did not even have to be that caress and rub your boobies and your booty and all that. It was nothing like that.
Right.
I knew from the way that he wanted to make sure that I was all right. He continued to try to teach me and teach me, regardless of how much I never listened because I did not, I was young, I did not know whatever. Um, he taught, he would try to teach me whatever. He just didn't know how to deliver it, because he'd never been, he never had, he's, he had never been this way with a woman past the time of his traumatic, the trauma, the relationship that caused him the trauma, traumatic, or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? So after that relationship, him being with another woman or dealing with another woman, the way that he dealt with me, it was not. And that one was like a high school love kind of thing. So they were kids and young.
Right.
Everyone else flocked to him. They would throw it at him. So it was no effort, no nothing. It's like a thought, throw that in the circle kind of thing, just
Right.
whatever. So me, I was just a different one. I didn't have to flock to him. I didn't have to call and beg him to be with me and throw my tail at him. I did none of that. Actually, I did not like him at first. I was like, I can't stand him. He get on my nerves. Like ugh, like that kind of thing. He's so aggressive. Not like aggressive like that. He's just loud mouth or whatever. Um, this is I'm looking at the thing. Oh, our sister is not feeling well.
Cool.
Drika, she's got a. It's on the. She sent us. She said, "Oh no, you're not in that message because I don't think we're friends or whatever." When I tried to pull the message up, it wouldn't come up, but I'll send it to you.
Okay. Oh, she gets better.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna send it to you because I know you could tell her something to help it.
Of course.
So I'm about to forward it to you. See, I still can't. Okay. There you go. Okay.
There's just been so much going on lately,
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
and it can take an effect sometimes. Like that's why as a people, we all have to become more mindful. And I think what it is when you're young and you
I
experience
understand you, sis.
certain lifestyles or certain circumstances, it can cause you to have a sense of detachment. So it's kind of hard to realize or become aware and have a sense of others because in that detachment, you've lost the sense of self.
Sis, I can't understand what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I was saying, we develop detachment, and and when we have detachment, we notice that you'll have detachment to not be aware of others, but it's mainly because of not being aware of self.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it takes effect on other people, you don't necessarily see why, or you don't understand, or you get offended. But that was the call, your actions that you didn't realize caused something that was on. See, I tell people all the time, negativity is like a virus.
Mm-hmm.
If you cough on me, I'm going to get it. If I cough near someone else, they're going to get it,
Yes,
you
baby.
know? And then, so you have to become more aware of the things that you do and not be embarrassed or feel sad, you know, but it's as simple as acknowledging and taking accountability and growth, and maybe the next time you'll cover your mouth.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, you don't have to be offended when someone says, hey, you coughed and you didn't cover your mouth. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I did. I'm sorry. Instead of saying, well, next time, or I didn't mean to, and you shouldn't be upset. Like, no, you can't do that, because regardless of whether, they're gonna get sick because you were sick.
Mm-hmm.
That's how negativity is, in a sense. And
Yes,
so
you got that right.
this is what I try to do, just to make sure that your mental senses, because we know our physical senses, to see, to hear, to touch, to smell, but we have mental senses, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of those things aren't necessarily, you know we're not being aware of. That's where detachment comes in. And so you have to turn those senses back on and really realize, how I'll say, well, how do my fingers feel right now? This is helping with your mental senses. Or how do I feel in this moment of tiredness? Or when you're eating, you can say, do I feel myself getting full? These practices help with your senses, even breathing. How am I breathing right now? Or if you're walking or if you're talking, can you hear yourself breathe? Do you notice yourself breathing fast or slow, or not, or you're holding your breath too long sometimes and not realizing it? This is how you become more aware, and your senses of the mental will start to become more attached.
Yeah.
And then you can be more aware of yourself, so
Mhm.
that it'll be easier to be aware of others. What
Exactly.
happened to what happened to Drika publicly, um,
Oh my God.
it was abusive.
Yes.
A lot of people do these things on a regular basis and not understand that that type of thing, even if it doesn't hurt someone necessarily, or they feel like they're not hurt, just to sense it with their pupils, it
Right.
sends a message through the mental, and it can cause some type of effect physically. We're damaging each other and not realizing it.
It is. Oh my. It's. You
We're
don't.
damaging each other, and it happens constantly, daily. And it's, instead of trying to prove a point, we should get to the point where we're like, you know what, I was wrong, and if I don't feel like I'm wrong, I can at least say that was wrong.
Right. Right. We understand that there's something that probably made you react that way. But here's my thing with it. You know what the whole how we all met. We had like a trauma bond basically.
Yes.
And to make a statement, girl, Jesus, take the wheel.
To
Mm,
feel justified
mm,
in negative behavior
mm,
because of your emotions
mm,
is letting you know that your everyday perception, your everyday thought process is built off of emotional response,
mm,
and that's not uh, it's not healthy. It's actually traumatic. It actually shows conditions that need therapy, that need counseling, and what we have to do as a community, because unfortunately, it was a lot of us that did not recognize, or even if we did recognize, we did not move on the actions before it got bad. We have to learn to become more aware so that when we see something within something, even if it is for a purpose, to possibly try to change it or stop it, because it's going to lead to something, even if we don't foresee it in the moment. It's going to lead to something, as it did, unnatural and unhealthy to anyone.
hmm. Let me tell you, it's and you, whoo, geez, anyone who's had any type of trauma, it's very difficult. This is a very difficult situation. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's even hard for me to kind of talk about it in a sense. It just at some points I have to just pause and just be like, I just have to stop. You know what I mean? I
Right.
it's um it's a bit much, sis. It's a bit much because one of my main one of my main trauma triggers is of aggressive people,
Yes.
especially.
Especially when they're when they're trying to defend or prove something. That's the biggest thing, the aggressiveness. And it's like, we don't have to be aggressive. I'm completely aware that in my reaction of your actions, I spoke with some emotions that you might have disapproved of. But we have to understand that it's okay, that is okay, and
Hmm.
that is not where we need to be alarmed. Where we need to be alarmed is what I did to cause that first. You know, it's
Hmm.
okay for me to be able to speak how I feel now, because I'm responding. And even in a response is not necessarily healthy to go off the wire, but I would be wrong to say that it's not okay to say, you know what, I'm not feeling this person anymore because of what was said and what was done. That is a normal response. There's nothing wrong with that.
Hmm.
What that is a reaction. You can't put anything out here in the world and get mad at the way people respond at it. And then to respond to what they responded at,
Hmm.
you go even more haywire.
Right. Justifying your bad behavior. Okay, so here's the thing. That comment, that thing that happened with our sister Drika, the
Right,
reason why it bothers me so much, and it's hard for me to even just like to say this out loud because one of mine was most of the things that I was abused on or whatever were someone taking out their frustrations on me because of something that they did that was messed up or wrong, or because someone else made them mad,
right,
and never ever admitting or saying, oh yeah, I did this and that was my fault, Only thing they did is continue to find someone or something to blame. And it made me so angry because at the end of the day, I still love you. I'm still supporting you. I still want, whatever. I don't wish the bad for you, but you're not getting it through your head what you're doing. And every
Right.
time you open your mouth to try to blame a person for something that you started or that you did, when all you had to do is talk about it, relieve your stress, relieve your trauma, because you might have trauma too, some kind of way, but you choose
Right.
not to. It bothers me, and that's a real trigger for me. So when that was said to her, it hit me so close to my heart because I talk to her every day. Every day
Right.
we talk. We all talk every day, regardless of what she said. If you were talking about a specific thing, you should have said a specific thing.
Right.
But you left it for the mind to wonder. Have you ever been threatened by someone and you don't know exactly what that threat means?
Right.
Well, I have, and a it takes you to a psychotic place. You
It
know what I'm saying?
does.
It leaves you in a world of limbo. You don't know. You Every time you hit a corner, you're looking. Every time you do something, you're looking. Every day of your life, you're wondering, what did this person mean? What are they going to do? What?
Especially when you've been traumatized already before, and,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't help with the growth. It doesn't help with the healing for someone else to do it without consideration, you know?
And
It's
then
so
over,
unfortunate.
and then something that's so mediocre, over something that does not really matter, over something that, first of all, does not belong to you. This
Right.
belongs to Mark Zuckerberg or whatever the guy name of Tesla or whatever. And honestly, whatever internet service that you're carrying, because if your internet goes off, you got no net. You know what I'm saying? It's not something that's yours. It's not your family. It's not your kids. It's not your mother. You're not placing harm on someone. So for someone to, I didn't rob your house. I didn't steal your car. I didn't do nothing. So for someone to threaten such a broad threat over something so, like I say, so small, so whatever, is is so, in any other word, triggering. You know, it triggers so many different avenues for so many different people, and it's unbelievable. All
Right.
I can do, as my thing says, is shake my damn head. That's all I can do, and pray. We gotta pray for them because something's wrong. Something is wrong there. Something is wrong. The live's not showing on my page. Okay, I know what it is. Let me fix it. Thank you. Um, so it's very triggering. I mean, it's a beach. Excuse my French, but that's the only thing that I can think of.
Right.
It's horrible. It's sickening, and something should be done.
I
Something should.
mean, a lot of people just we just got to make it a new norm. It just starts by one person at a time, I guess. And it may seem like it's going to take forever, but it's, it'll hopefully change throughout time. If it doesn't change in our lifetime, at least in our children's lifetime, you
Yeah,
know.
girl. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you, sis. Let me tell you. 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 It took me a minute. It took me when I first seen it, and I was like, it sent me somewhere. Okay? It sent me into a place that I remembered also very well. Kind of upset me because I was like, dang, all this hard work that I've been doing to heal myself and could get myself better, did this really mean that I'm not healed? Does this mean that I'm spiraling backwards? Does this mean that something so small or something so big or something so large or something so fat or something so skinny can take me back to where to a place that I don't need to be?
Right.
So what I ended up doing and how I ended up getting past that, I told my sister, I said, we need to speak out about this because people need to know that this is not something that you need to be doing to people. You don't need to be threatening people because as you can see sometimes threats end up being reality.
Exactly.
You know, we've got plenty of things online that shows that. So it's just something that you don't need to do. So I told her, yeah, we need to speak out about it because it's unbelievable.
I think more people need to start speaking out about it. I think more people need to start coming together and speaking about these things so it can start to change something. Especially with everybody being so and having such access to social media, you
Hmm.
know. I think that we need to make it a new trend so that people can start to realize that this is a sign. If you ever feel like going on live or typing anything to place it on the internet out of anger or frustration, this is a sign of needing some type of help, of needing or thinking in a is not okay,
Mm-mm.
you know.
You are not in a healthy place in your life. That's what that
I
means. You are
just
not in a healthy place in life. Sis, are you able to look and see is your video showing on your page?
let me see. I think so. Let me see. I think it's on here. Yep, it's on.
I don't see it. Which one is it under?
Um, I put mine under let's chat.
Under your name, under your page name right here, this up here?
The lovely me, or it's on Facebook
Yeah, I don't see it on here.
under lovely me Angie on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I'm on, but I don't see it on mine.
No, let me see. Let me go to your page.
Mine wasn't on because I see on here Drika didn't. The live is not showing on my page. Uh, so I don't see.
I see it.
Yeah, you see it on my page. It's okay. You can see it, but I
Yeah.
don't understand why I can't see it on yours.
Hmm, I don't know. You notice I changed my profile pic.
Yeah, that was kind. That's probably why I was confused and couldn't figure out if that was the right one.
Yes, I changed it because I noticed you have the Miss Lovely me. So I said I got to change mine to Angie. I couldn't change my name because I'm like, well, what am I gonna say? I
Mm.
tried to say it's Angie on my name, but they said it was too short.
Oh no, you could have kept yours how it is because my name, that Miss Lovely Me, it's on here. On my Facebook page, it's still my name, but this is just underneath my name, like another name that's called. That
Okay.
it's not my Facebook. I mean, they wouldn't. When I tried to change it a while ago, they wouldn't let me change it. I don't know why.
Right.
I don't know. I guess I didn't know what I was doing. So, well, that's how my name just stayed when I started way back in October when I started going on here because I was going to change my name. So, um, you know why, but it wouldn't let me change it, so I just left my name. So maybe because I had my page for so long, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna ask. I don't know. Um, was just making sure that you're making sure you. But you see yours on there, right?
Yeah, I see it, and I see yours too.
Okay. Do we have to be friends for me to see it?
No, mine is public. Let me go and double check, make sure everything is public. Oh Lord, it does say friends.
Mm.
But aren't we friends on Facebook?
No, yours only says people I'm allowed to follow. So what I'll let me see if I can go back to it.
So I just made it public.
Okay, so I just did that. I sent you a request.
Okay. Okay. So I confirmed it.
Okay, there we go. Ooh, look at that face. That's a face only a mother could love.
Where?
Oh, mine when I look at your page.
On me?
No, on me.
Oh Lord, you beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, well, look, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna turn the camera on. I'm so goofy. Wait, let me go back to it. Hold on. So, can you wait? Hold on, let me find. Can you see the page that is froze on? Let me try to find a way to get in there. Can you see the face that is froze on? Can you see
A
that?
little bit.
Look at that
Kind
face
of.
before you push play.
It's so funny.
Wait, she said, wait, who is Skin Bone? What's that?
What in the chat?
I don't know.
I'm just now being able to see the messages. Hey everybody.
How y'all doing? Then you know they didn't even get to see what we was talking about. Ooh,
What?
I don't know what they talking about. They got a whole thing going on. Um,
Where?
wait, we better stop saying that. Okay, that's
I think I know, sis. Hold
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I let me see.
Let me see, can I add you? Hold on, got a situation here. Let me see, can I fix this?
No, I don't know.
Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can fix this right here. There we go. I can do this. Hold on, this way. You'll see. Hold on, sis. I got you. There we go. Boom, boom, boom. Take a look. You'll see. Ooh, I'm getting good at this stuff, sis. I'm getting good.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to get to it.
Okay. Go to your messenger. I made it. You can get to it now.
Oh,
Yes, auntie. Yes. Remember, I couldn't find it at first, and I seen. I was like, I don't know what that is. That's not who. That's not who I think it is. I ain't selecting that because when I tried to share it, I shared it off this, and this shit makes it share different. And I was like, I don't know that picture. That's not the picture I remember. Is that somebody playing? And so I just shared yours individually. So now I just added it back. I've added it to it. So that's what they was talking about.
oh, oh, this all new.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
everybody, hey.
Hey, 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 hey. Um, but what we were talking about because they wasn't able to see our stuff. I think one of them was able to see us because of whoever you were a friend with, they were able to look on your page and see yours.
Yeah, I think I could. I think I was friend. I thought I was friends with everybody. Oh, girl, we done got into it. We on live.
Okay.
We got to focus on our live, girl.
Mm.
I'm lost at it though, but I'm like, I just wait because I don't
You
know
gotta,
what's going on.
yeah, you gotta scroll up higher to. Can you scroll up higher to read about it?
Oh,
Yeah,
let me see.
I got one. I don't know. I got one follower, one person, one person looking for all these people. I don't know who these people are, but if my friends did not tell me directly that they were sending me a request, I am not sending them a request.
Right.
I mean, I'm not accepting a request.
Oh, okay. You know, I some people just be exaggerating their life, honey. They really be exaggerating like they about to make some moves. So I don't even entertain half the things that come out their mouth because truth be told, you got to reach a certain point to be involved with somebody else and what they got going on. Not to say that they better, but because they're trying to, continue growing too. If they give certain lookouts, but I think for the most part, it's somebody that they know. Y'all not even close to each other. So how that will work out, it's not logical to me. So, that's how I feel. You get what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it could happen if they pay it. The same thing they was talking about
Man,
somebody else paying for somebody else to do to do stuff
you
with.
know that person is
Yeah,
not, yeah, okay. We ain't even gotta go there.
all right, but
We ain't even gotta go there. We already know some people they try hard to try to you know, elevate with a look, that fake it till you make it type thing. But it
mm,
only makes you look bad in the end. So, I know for one thing, wherever that person was today, I know the other person was not there. So I know that for a logical sense,
mm,
no, it wouldn't have been, no.
mm. It said it was in two different locations,
Right, period.
which they
Period.
not just locations, but locations.
Some people want you to be as dumb as they expect you to be, you know, just so that you could be, oh, really? For real?
Mm.
No, you trying to make me have envy and jealousy in my heart because that's what you have. I mean, I wish the best for you, but if you do something, that I know is fake or not true, you know, I'm gonna call it out. I'm gonna say it, and that's nothing about being jealous. That's about being honest.
Being real, that's what real is. See, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not understanding. Well, I guess we can understand it because this is the same thing that we went for the original cause we were dealing with, right?
Right,
You have some who see one thing and you have some who see another thing, right?
right.
But I'm not understanding how the ones who were on the original team, we were all on together, and they seen this played out from the other person,
Well, see, sometimes some people aren't necessarily looking. They're not necessarily paying attention. And
right?
then,
No,
like I told you, a lot of people, um, especially when they have unhealed traits, a lot of people forget the communications of manipulators and abusers. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
You're
yeah.
waiting for their response, and it's only an excuse for their behaviors. And we constantly forgive them because their response was, in a sense to you, you felt like that was an acknowledgement, and because they acknowledged it, it's okay. No, it's not
Nope.
okay. It's not okay.
And
It
then,
was
no,
wrong.
so no, what I was gonna say is how we were supporting an individual, and we seen all, hey Sabrina, and we seen all the tricks and trades and manipulation that was okay, that was pushed out on the person we were supported, right? So
Right.
it baffles me why these people cannot see the same things, the same way we try to twist things around to make it cover the original story or the original lie or the original deception. I cannot understand why they cannot see through this for this person when they seen through it from the original person's aggressor, accuser.
Enablers.
Yeah,
Enablers. They
so
see the things that they have done themselves, and thus they make excuses for holding somebody else's holding somebody else from being accountable from their own growth. Like this. Let me give an example.
yeah,
Um,
Sabrina, she just pulled in. She said she a little lost. We need to catch up. Tell her we just chit chatting. She can come up if she want.
oh yeah, we just chit chatting, Mama.
Yes, it is. She can come up.
Come up, Brina. Brina been putting on some skits, and I love them. She is a baddie.
Oh,
Yes.
go follow for entertainment. You gonna be entertained.
Thanks, sis. And you got a beautiful family. You had to let them know one time for the one time.
She said she just fried some chicken. Oh, they eating chicken tonight. I think we gonna have to cook us some chicken on live, sis. Did you already eat dinner?
For me, yeah, I eat early. I eat before the sun goes down.
Oh, okay. No, I was saying, Brina and Drika already they was eating some chicken. And I was like, dang, I guess we gonna have to it's good to y'all. Yeah, we want some chicken. We want some chicken too. What's chicken lolly? Oh,
What you
that's
said?
LOL. I'm stupid. It's chicken LOL.
Drika, want you to feel better too, Mom.
That's right. But yeah, we gotta fill Brina in Brina because she don't know what we're talking about.
Yes, we were chit chatting about, basically the behaviors of people and, how it comes from traumas and, the responses to responses, basically saying you have to learn how to not be offended when somebody responds to your actions, and then not only that, but then you respond again in a negative light, and it causes an effect to somebody else after taking accountability, basically.
That's right. We sent prayers up for Drika because that situation was very triggering, not just for her, but for multiple people.
Yes.
To see someone say something like that so bland, so bland, and you've been through traumas and traumatic experiences, it just brings, I'm gonna say, flashbacks, for lack of a better word, back to you because of what you've already been through, and now you're going back over these things that you went through, because now you don't know what to do in your life. You don't know where they're at, when they come, and what they're gonna do. It's like it takes you through a psychotic, what do you call it, a psychotic trans, I want to say, for lack of a
Yep.
better,
It's a
basically
Yeah, go ahead,
paranoia,
sis. Right,
paranoia.
paranoia. And it also, we was trying to discuss how to see the signs so that, we could possibly learn to avoid certain situations, because I know in this situation, I feel used, I feel played, I
Yes,
feel, mistreated, you
man,
know. So it's and I know everybody else, especially the ones who were put on Front Street, unfortunately, they feel 10 times worse than how I feel. You get? So
yes,
it's like, how do we avoid these things? How do we grow from these things to never happen to us? Or at least to, decrease the amount of it happening to us, because it's not healthy for us to continue to, have repeated trauma cycles, from different scenarios and stuff like that.
It takes us through something. So all the hard work that we've done to heal from our traumatic experiences, when you trust someone and someone comes to you and they're supposed to be your friend or your family and they do something so triggering, it sends you back. It what do you call it? What do you call it when they make your growth stand still? It stops your growth. It stops it. It's a terrible thing. It's not good. It's horrible because now you start to question yourself, as we were talking about. You start to question yourself. Am I making bad decisions on people? How did I let this happen? How did I not see this? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Hi,
Love you
Vanita.
too, girl. Yes.
No, Vanita. Hey, Vanita. Welcome. That's your friend. Yeah. You question yourself. Like, how did I let this happen? How come I did not see this? And then it could possibly send you back into that mode where you where you
Because
just go back.
honestly
Yeah.
and truthfully, I think because of the purpose of us all coming together, I think that we were so we saw the signs, but we didn't realize that they were signs at the time because of our passion and what we were standing for, you know. And it's unfortunate that there's people that exist that take advantage of that moment, you know. And sometimes they may not even realize that they're taking advantage of that moment because they can even in a sense relate. But if you're not fully healed from that, then of course you're going to start to respond back in your toxic mental mind state, because you know you didn't take the proper steps to heal before addressing or before creating a space for other people to, you know, open up and express as well, you know.
Mm,
So we just have to start, you know, being more self-aware so that we can be more aware of others, to realize if this is going to grow to be something healthy for us all, or is it going to end up being something that we all potentially might have a form of regret towards.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, and it's the sad thing about this is it's right when you think that you're healing and that you're able to stand behind someone who's gone through what you've gone through and all the things that they've gone through, you're figuring out a way where you don't let it trigger you and and then you're hit with something like that. It makes you stand back and question. That's what I'm saying. It stops. It puts like a nail in your growth, your healing, your process, because now you're triggered all over again.
Right,
Now you're just triggered all over again, and then it makes you angry, and it makes you want to go, whatever, because they don't care. The fact that you were all once family and they don't care, it makes you just that much worse because people don't understand. The worst betrayal is not the betrayal of a stranger, or not the betrayal of someone who you've never spoken to, or not the betrayal of someone who has pretended to be your family or pretended to be your friend. Not those. But the worst one is from a person who you love, a person who you support, a person when you did not have, you gave, or a person
right.
that you took out your time day after day after day after day trying to be there for, or a person that you shared with your friends and your family, they're about them, and now they've done something that's crazy. They don't want to hear you out about it so you can talk about it and figure it out and correct wrong, fix the wrongs, the rights, or whatever. They disregard you.
It
So now,
causes a block for
idiots.
people to actually continue with other forms of, you know, socializing and, you know, relationships and building bonds and trust with other people. So now they go by it with the trauma response in a form of hindrance because of what was done before, you know.
Hmm.
And that's not that's stunning growth, because people shouldn't have to build a perception to where they're blocked from, you know, possibly, you know, evolving with any form of relationship with other people or other platforms because of how they were treated in this scenario. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
this is why a lot of people can't get anywhere, or as far as their mental and development or their social development, so that they can, grow into what they need to be in their purpose, you know and so, we just got to find a way to start making accountability a I guess at the least a trend now, because so people can better be informed of it, and so they
Mhm.
won't take offense, and that it can be something more accepting.
Right. Can you see the comments when they write them, or you can only see what can you see the comments?
Yeah, I can see the comments.
Okay, so you see Drika's comment.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
so happy that I've been connected to y'all, because I do have a lot of past traumas. Y'all help me to understand this so much better, and y'all give me good advice to get through things. We
Mhm.
helping each other, sis.
That's
Thank
what.
you so much for that. We
Yep. That.
helping each other. And
And
this is
see,
what, go
go ahead.
ahead.
You go ahead.
I was gonna say this is what the platform, this what the purpose brought us all together. And when that platform was set up, everybody was opening up. And unfortunately, a lot of people probably didn't sense the response, from the way that we were receiving it. It was a place for me to be able to express, and I felt comfortable, and I felt like I was around people who were understanding, and I wanted to embrace everybody as much as they were embracing my story as well. I felt connected, and for
Yeah.
that, and I felt like, because of us going through our traumatic situations, I honestly feel like the rug being drugged from under our feet, basically, you know it it hurt,
Yeah, it did because this is the thing. People don't understand. We have been, first of all, we were already vested in whatever we were invested in. We were already supporting, we were already on top of it. We had multiple different groups that kept getting shut down, but some kind of way we'd still meet up again and because we still be there. So technically, we did not need someone else because we had different, things.
right,
But this was just something that was coming from the point of view of the opposite sex. So we thought. But
right,
if we had been listening and if we had been paying attention, we would have noticed that at the end of the day, we never heard how this happened to you, but only that it did.
right, that's
And
true.
then we have the group who they say that we're against, but now they're on or whatever,
Right,
pull up this whole thingamajigger. We don't know if it's true, so we cannot speak on it. It's alleged. We don't know if they typed it. We don't know if they did. But to us, after what we've witnessed, the going off, the yelling, the cussing, the threatening, all this other kind of stuff, we can just pretty much assume that this is what it is. So now we feel like complete idiots. Not really, but you know what I mean. This is what I'm saying. That okay, sis. Okay, now we feel like, and we'll try to read the comments out so you can hear those as well. But now we feel like complete, something like an idiot, not so much as an idiot because none of us are idiots, but we kind of feel like that because the person that we were meeting up with and listening to and letting him express things, and he's dragging this person, he's bringing this person, we're telling our experiences and we're sharing with him these traumatic experiences. Some people have been the first time, like myself, to bring it out anywhere public. There's a lot of people
right,
who went through that the first time anyone has ever heard that stuff subject, that story on a platform or anything in public.
right.
And it turns
Mm,
out that this person is probably, it appears that this person did this, is the same type of person that
exactly.
we've been experiencing.
I
And
honest I honestly just feel like we have to learn to be more aware of what the other person's purpose was for the entire thing, and maybe it won't be such a thing to where we let ourselves down anymore. And it's unfortunate because even though certain things were described, the full intent was not described. So it kind of robbed us of giving us the chance to decide.
And sis, check this out. We knew what we needed to do and how we needed to go about that before we stepped forward. Because think about what I just said. When I said a person cannot come and tell me they love me in 2 weeks and can't tell me why. See what I mean? When we need to apply these, we've learned these things. We're healing from our traumas. We're going through things. We're doing the work, but we have to remember we don't need to just apply them to certain specific things. These are things we need to apply to everyday life because you never know when the next traumatic experience will be.
Right,
And that's what we didn't do. We didn't
right,
question the intent. We didn't question the love. We didn't question the sincerity. You know what I mean? We didn't question any of that because we said that this is what it is and how we feel. We said okay.
right. I
You
think
know?
this is a learning
Yes.
experience for all of us to just, if anybody, decides that they want to step out and, create a space for anything, any type of subject, any type of reason, any type of purpose, just firsthand explain your purpose behind it, your full intent behind it, and your what form or sense of understanding that you have for this to go out with, so that people that come in, they're able to either accept it or decline it, you know
That's
I
right.
kind of feel like, how they have scenarios where people will sleep with each other and one person will think, oh, well, we're in a relationship. And the
Yeah.
other person is thinking, oh, well, I thought we just had occasional, relations. So
Friends.
they're both being misunderstood and not realizing it, and then the person that's looking for the relationship is hurt.
Mm-hmm.
They're hurt.
Very much. They're traumatized at that point because they thought they had love or was building love. I'm still here, sis. Oh, shoot.
We just, I just feel, I, it's kind of like I just feel like, we've reached a point in our society where we have gotten so far lost that, the turnaround, and it is definitely possible for a turnaround, but it's going to be uh, a slower progression than, needed,
Yeah.
like we need a turnaround from these type of things because these are things that happen when you were in high school, the
Yeah.
petty little beef and but as adults, you know you would think that this type of behavior would somewhat, slow down or be non-existent, but unfortunately it isn't, and that's just showing that it's not necessarily, good. Like this is not a good space for adults to be in.
Right. It's like, me and my mom was talking. She said that there's nothing underneath the sun. Come on. Nothing in the sky, nothing under the sun is new. Only thing
Right,
it is just different, come on, different players and different scenarios.
right,
So we just have to be, and it sucks that we have to be like that. And it sucks that we have to be mindful of what the next person may do or what their intent is. You know,
right,
we're all adults. Just say it. We can
Right.
do one or two things. We can accept it or not, but don't try to force somebody to accept something or to be something with you when you're not, when it's not truthful.
Right. Like, what's that song say? You don't have to lie to kick it. You don't have to lie to kick it.
Right.
You know, the one when you tell the truth, the ones that's gonna kick it with you are the ones that's supposed to kick it with you. But
Right.
when you out lying or not even lying, but just deceiving people by not giving your full intent, you know, that's when you got people that's thinking they could kick it with you when they can't. And those aren't the people that you're supposed to be kicking it with. You wasted somebody else's time. You caused another scenario, within their own journeys. Like you that was selfish. That was selfish.
That's when people get hurt because their feelings are hurt, their pride is hurt. You know, their mental is hurt.
Everyone becomes hurt because it takes a hurt person to hurt someone else. It takes a hurt person to act in a certain format that causes hurt to someone else. And you can tell that by their own actions, like the things that you do. It's not your explanation that is going to, it's not necessarily the explanation that is needed. It's the actions before having to explain, you know? That's where things, you have to see how people move, the way you moved. If you're not aware of your own movements, you know
And,
it's not a healthy place to be in. And
and
then to hold everyone else accountable for their reaction when you're the one that caused the action. If you knew you were going to do something that could potentially make someone mad and you had to say don't be mad, that should let you know that some people are going to be mad even after the fact of you saying don't be mad.
right.
So when they are mad, and they at least give you an understanding as to how they felt for being mad. You already knew how they felt how they would feel because of your statement, and we
Yeah,
didn't even have to express how we were going to be mad. You already knew how we were going to be mad
exactly.
because if you do something with good intentions, you won't think someone is mad. But when they say they're mad, then you can say, okay, well, I'm sorry, I didn't intend. But if you're already starting off with an action saying don't be mad, then you should already expect people to be upset. That's just common sense.
Yes, sis, you just spoke some true facts. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And then on top of that, if you really care about the people and you did not have ill intent or you knew how it was going to affect them, humility is the best way to let them know that you did not mean that. Or maybe, I don't know if humility is the right word, but say, you know what? I understand what you're saying and I apologize. You know what
And
I
say,
mean?
you know what? I knew you was gonna be mad because I said you was gonna be mad, and I'm sorry. I
But
and I take full accountability for making you upset. My thing is, why even do anything that you know somebody's gonna be mad at? That's
absolutely,
selfish.
absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
selfish
That's it.
because
That means you
at
didn't
what
care.
cost was it worth?
That means you did not care, and it was not about them. You didn't care how they felt. It was all about you. It was all about you. Forget whoever
Right.
else had another feeling or how they was gonna feel. I don't care. It's about me. It is what it is, type of thing. You know that saying? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this, and this is like when you're in a relationship with a person, and they're with you every day, you live together, and all this other kind of stuff, and the words come out of their mouth. A closed mouth don't get fed. People think that saying is a true saying, but to me, that's a selfish saying. That's
Right.
very selfish because if I'm with you and I know that you need something, or I know that you're feeling a type of way, or I know something, and I say, I ignore you until you open your mouth and say it, but you expect for me to open my mouth and say it to you, or you see that I do. that means you're selfish. And I don't
Mm,
deal with people like that. That is a statement. A closed mouth don't get fed. That is a statement that says a lot about a person's character. That means, to me, that means I'm all for self.
right.
I'm not gonna do unless I just have to.
To talk about how hard you worked for something without acknowledging that other people took time and sacrifices as well to help you, you know, and to say it's mine, it's mine. I understand it's under your name. I understand that you are the face, but the people that are in the crowd that support, that show love, that give out, you know what I'm saying? Let's not forget those who helped contribute with their voice, and their opinions, and who took the time out to watch. There's so many other things in the world that we could have been contributing to, and we chose to contribute to you.
Right,
And the
right,
fact that our feelings, because they were different, because our opinions were different from yours, we weren't respected, and that's not fair.
right.
You
I'm
know,
Yeah, I'm still here, sis. I just got something that just
we
happened.
just all gonna go to a place of healing and growth, and recreate our own spaces with additional people that we've come across to grow and you know to become a family or a system. We've grown in this scenario, so there's no need to stop. There's no need to turn around and walk away. There's still opportunity for growth in this situation by just recreating another situation from it, and
Right,
evolving from that point. you
right,
know you can devolve with negativity, or you can evolve with positivity. I choose to evolve with positivity, and I think that everybody that I found in the midst of evolving with the positivity are on the same path, and so I'm down with that.
right. And then if you don't really mean that you're family, you only have one thing on your mind, which is self and money. Don't um involve yourself with people who have a connection to something. Don't do that because that means you're a user, you're a manipulator, you're a narcissist. That means you have no good intent. You
People like
know,
that aren't moving with purpose. And when you don't move with purpose, no amount of money or situations, nothing will become better for you. Because if you're just moving for money, you know, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose moving for money, because money is something that you can't take with you. Money is something that can constantly change. It's always an emotion with money. Money is always in motion. When you move with purpose, you're constantly gaining, whether
hmm
it's money or understanding, health and growth. It's always something good with purpose, you
right.
know, and
And
then you won't. Go ahead, sis.
oh no, I just wanted to say this. People always say the root to all evil is money, and that's not the truth. The root to all evil is the greed and the lust and the of money. Money is not a person. Money has, money can't do anything. You have to take the money, you have to have the money, you have to use the money, you have to want the money, you have to need the money. So people cannot blame a piece of paper. It's the person that has the money, the person that wants the money, the person that desires the money. That's the root to the evil. So that's just something I wanted to say because people always blame something on money, like a weapon. A weapon is not what does it. What I'm trying to say. It's the person that holds it. It's the person that makes that weapon have the ability to be used. You feel me?
Right,
So it's not the thing. It's the person that's holding the thing, desiring the thing, wanting the thing, using it. So
right,
the evil was not the money. The evil was the person that wanted the money or desired that money. That person had an evil intent from day one. So we
yeah.
can't
A
say,
lot of people, a lot of people who go for that money, most of the time, how I feel about it is you showing your thirst. You showing your thirst You showing your desperation. And it's unfortunate that you can't see that you're desperate for it. And when you have a form of desperation for something, that's when you just need to take a step back and really analyze why is there a desperation, and if you should try to, work on not needing it, not needing to be desperate for, or not needing to act on that, because your desperation, it can lead you into some negative routes that is not healthy. It's called self-sabotage, and a lot of people do that constantly.
You there, sis?
I'm here.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, and we do this constantly all the time to ourselves, unknowingly continuing to self-sabotage, and it's because you you're not realizing the things that you put on yourself, the actions that you take, the things that you do is making your desperation even worse. This is how the enemy works. It starts with one moment, not being aware of your first action. And when you do your first action, and if it's good, then you'll say, "Oh, I'm doing good." And so you'll start to move into another form of desperation to increase. I tell people all the time, slow grind is the for show grind. Don't get too excited to where you see you having a consistency, and then you start to say, "Well, how can I make this jump?" Because when you make that jump out of desperation or out of excitement, you can lose everything that you started with, you know? And so, you got to be more self aware of what your purpose was. Because in your purpose, it doesn't matter how long it takes, because I'm not doing it for anything else but for my purpose. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that your purpose isn't something that's selfish and something that's not, gonna stay in a positive uh mindset, because that negative mindset, it can get you up there high to the clouds, but out of nowhere, it can drop you down hard to the ground.
And more than likely, it's the way that you move and the way that you do it. And if you money hungry and you ain't thinking it through, you only thinking it through from one's perspective. um, that's what's gonna happen. Because what ended up happening, what we're talking about, they just assumed that we didn't have minds of our own. They just assumed that they had manipulated us. They just assumed that everything was going to be okay, no matter how they treat or talk to us. And I guess that
Thanks.
was not well thought of grown women having their own opinion in their own mind.
Yes, you can't go around in this world thinking everybody's sweeter than you, because you might be the sweet one and you just ain't realized it. That's how things can happen to you. You taking the advice of somebody that's taking advantage of you and turning around and trying to use it on other people, and thinking that these people won't realize it, because you the sweet one and you don't realize it. You think everybody else the sweet one. I was reading
I
Drika
was just
comment.
talking.
Drika
I'm
said,
sorry. Go
I
ahead.
understand. I
Go ahead.
understand people may have a lot on them at home, but you still have to watch the way that you move. You can't be selfish and not think about how the supporters feel. Exactly. You can't do that, because you were being blessed. Your supporters were supporting, and regardless to whether they all were supporting financially, they were all supporting the platform to give, input to help with the creation of the platform. They were putting, they were they were basically, they were co your co-stars, and so when you deny them the right to have that understanding, or you deny that acknowledgement within yourself, and you take a big loss because you became selfish, You know what I'm saying? Everything that happens on the back end becomes worse because you done planned out everything you was gonna do because you saw that it was building, that it was growing, and then you destroyed it, and now you in a bigger rut than you were before.
Drika, that's right. We were building him up to be an icon, a legend, something great. But it was false intent because what he appeared to us was not what it was before our eyes. That was not who we were. We were building up some made up character. So
Right,
eventually it was going to fall anyway. Yeah, we did 100%, just like the other, just like Robert, we did. But it was the back of something that was not true. It was a false character. It was something drew on a piece of paper and made up. It was like a promotion. You know how publicists make stories and spin stories to make a person seem something or to fix a story. That's all it was. We built up a made up person that was not who it was. Period.
right. What we were doing,
I wanted to say this off of what Drika said. Yeah, he may have had a lot of things going on at home, but guess what? You have no clue what the supporters have going on at home.
right,
Everybody has something going on at home, from health issues to just everything. You know what I'm saying? So just because you're not the only one, so it's not like you're the only person that matters. Everybody matters. We all matter. But we took out time of our day to ensure that we gave you support. We use our platforms to, get other people involved. But when it came down to it, oh, this the person that did this and this. I don't need nobody. I'm my own self. Da, da. Come on, man, that's crazy. That's absolutely insane. Because this comment right here, that's 100% sure. That was 100% sure. Nobody could have said anything negative about it because we did not believe it and we was gonna go at it. So
exactly.
the support was there. The support was there, but the support was for a made up, falsified person, a person that was created just to manipulate and scheme to get what they wanted, which was money.
Right. See,
Okay.
crabs in the bucket is when they pull you down. We weren't doing crabs in the bucket. We wasn't pulling him down. We were doing the ants. We were building together. We was moving him up so that our voices could move up, so that change can move up. You know what I'm saying? The crab in the bucket mentality came when he allowed himself to knock it all down, cause the division, and then refuse to see himself in that place of being the cause.
Or sis, or instead of being honest about the situation, keep spinning the story, keep spinning things, keep turning things around just to for everything that we knew he was wrong. So when you change from the first story, oh, I did this for to see if who my real supporters is. Oh, I did this because I knew all the people was gonna be coming over here. Which one is it?
Right.
And if that was the case, we had a private group. You could have went in there and told us and expressed it, so we could have supported.
Either way it goes, me, how I feel, you know, just within consideration of a lot of people that support, I would have asked first. I would have stated, what do you think should go first? Or do you think that something should go first? Or would y'all consider something like this? Some people aren't great with surprises, you know, and not only that, but you knew that a lot of people in your support group have had scenarios in their life which made them relate to this specific story. You get what I'm saying? So
Yep.
something in your mind should have been able to acknowledge that I should be mindful of how I go about things because I don't want to offend, I don't want to trigger. And you know what I'm saying? Because even if you don't know us personally, you know that we were here to support your voice. We were here to support your platform. Everybody not jealous of you. And sometimes you got to understand that somebody that really care about you, they're not always going to agree with you. And those are the ones that you should be more in tune with, because they're showing you and telling you things that could possibly help you elevate and evolve.
Yeah, well, I don't like people who are dismissive towards people's thoughts that don't align with what they think they know, and that's a problem for me. Even though you
Got
may
you.
not agree with it, but you just can't dismiss it. I understand. Okay, now why do you feel that way, or how do you feel that way? I'm not disputing it, but just explain to me, what do you feel? What do you mean? I don't understand. And that's that's
Jika said,
I,
I'm going to be honest, I never support men on social media because most are full of BS. Him and Robert are the first male content creators that I've ever supported on social media. Exactly. And you see the difference in comparison. One has been beaten and battered and mistreated for months, constantly, nonstop, even to this day. And not once has he came out and just, flip the switch on anybody,
threatened to the next somebody was gonna be next, or to snatch a wig off of a woman.
or to ask someone to come in their defense, or ask someone to go and defend him. He just
Ask
hasn't.
No, sis, you have to rephrase that. It was not asked that someone go and defend him on
It
either
was
occasion.
demanded.
On
You
both
right.
situations, that's two. Matter of fact, there's three. There's the first one when they were on his family. Then there's the one with Robert, and then there's the one with Jeannie. What type of person is that? So I don't even understand how he still has supporters when he's demanding that people go and do something to other people. Oh, my bad. Now there's four because there's our group that he's demanded that he's dry snitching and sending people over to. So what type of person is that?
See, I know them type of people from the streets, and let me tell
Yes,
you,
yes.
people who are really in it, and not just people who have seen it, next with people next to them or people in their lives. People who are really in it, they know what type of flaw that is. You can't go around and say that you wouldn't do something in one situation and turn around and do it in another. It shows your character. It shows what type of person you really are in reality. you know a lot of people don't realize that they tell on themselves constantly, and that's why you continue to have certain situations pop up in your life, because you're not realizing that you done told on yourself. And the people around you see it. The people around you, they can tell by the way you say things, by the way you act, by your moves. They can tell. And so they're going to continue, some people going to continue to try you because they know who you are, even if you don't know who you are. Some people, they going to walk away from you, and you're going to be wondering why. Some people, it can go in any scenario, but you constantly tell on yourself. You have to become more aware of who you are within, so that you can realize how you've been responding on the outside.
I keep moving my phone. Um, so give me 1 second, sis. I'm still here. I can still hear you. But go ahead and finish your statement.
No, you good,
But
sis.
I'm here though. Just give me 1 second. I'm gonna see. Oh, matter of fact, let me see something. I know, yeah, Drika. I know you don't feel good, but do you know of anybody that'll come up for a few minutes where I gotta do something for like a few seconds?
Or just keep typing, sis. I'm watching if you don't want to come up. I know she
Okay.
just Yeah, she just stated, I know the streets is not too much that he can run on a person like me. Exactly. It's a lot of people that I know was in on his, supporting his platform, that come from that struggle. So when you coming from that struggle, you can see a person basically, based upon how they move. You know what I'm saying? So when you moving in a certain light, eh, real people gonna recognize it, and then you can't be upset when they call it out. What you have to understand is when a real person call it out, they trying to help you. If they don't call it out and they choose to walk away, you know what I'm saying? That's when you should be hurt because you ain't received that help. You know what I'm saying? A person that's calling it out and telling you that, hey, don't move that way, that way look funny, you know what I'm saying? Don't get offended. That's a real person trying to help you grow. I'm so tired of people coming to a defense when somebody's trying to tell them something that they don't see. If we walking in the dark together in the middle of nowhere and I can sense something in front of you, don't get upset with me. We both walking. I see it. I'm telling you, you know. And it's a lot of men like that, sis. It's a lot of men like that, and a lot of it comes from not necessarily understanding or valuing the essence of a woman. A woman is the one that can foresee things. You tell them the vision, they give you the insight on how to make that vision move forward, how to make that vision possible. But the ones who don't understand that, they'll say, "Oh, you don't support me," or you find a problem with everything. No, I'm supporting what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, and I'm telling you how that your possible route that you're trying to take is going to cause a hindrance to that development, to that growth. So don't be offended by that. Understand that that is love. The true essence of a female, we spiritual. We're gonna give you. We can foresee something, and that's why when we're in our toxic form, we always try to see the possibilities in the man, and in our healthier form, we see the possibilities in what the man has planned. I just hope that I could just hope that one day it becomes like a light bulb to him. He doesn't have to acknowledge it today, but even later on in life in his mind, or who knows, he probably acknowledging it already. But some people, like, they don't want to show it. But you just acknowledge it in your mind so that you could continue to grow. I'm not looking for no apology. It's unnecessary over here because it won't change anything for me. This really didn't have to go this far if he would have just taken accountability and been honest when it first happened. Exactly, sis. Exactly. All you had to do was become more accountable of yourself and your actions, especially if you already stated that people were going to be mad. You stated it as if nobody was going to be mad. Like, you knew we was going to be mad. So since you knew that, what's wrong with taking accountability and saying, I did move this way and I did forewarn y'all, and I understand what y'all saying, and I could respect that. I would have possibly understood and given him a second chance. I would have forgiven him, but not forgot. Exactly. If we could at least, continue to move forward and saying that we already know, especially when you have an opposing team. This is the thing. When you have an opposing team, you know, that is, and I understand because he said, I'm on no side. We already knew that. That was already established. But because you knew that we had an opposing side, and I don't want to say team, but an opposing understanding. They were in defense of someone else being abused and being the victim, and we were in defense of someone being, falsely accused. So, with that understanding, and most of your supporters are on this side, you know, you don't want the opposing side to feel like they have one up from someone who had a platform for mainly us that was supporting him and building him. That's, I would have possibly, okay, I read that one, but, you know, it was selfish. It was very selfish. unfortunately. And that's how it is sometimes, people being selfish with how things go, and not really, realizing, even if it is for self, even if you gonna be selfish, you know realize that, you know even in my selfishness, the way I move can affect the things that was, helping me in my selfishness. You know, you sabotaged your own self in this situation. So everything that was helping you, it broke in half, literally, you know. So that's something that he got to learn and grow from, and he's still learning and growing. And that's another thing that I couldn't stand from him. How you gonna mock somebody else when they learning and growing and trying to build their platform, when they were the very people that was helping you learn and grow and build your platform? You know, that's some hate and stuff. You already forgot where you came from. Like, how you do something like that? How you forget where you come from, and in just a matter of seconds, literally, because you didn't have it like this just a month ago, like and it was something that a lot of people don't get on a day-to-day basis. Some people gotta work a little longer to get to that point, you know what I'm saying? So when you get to that point like that, you got to take a moment and just realize, you know it wasn't me that necessarily got me to this point. It was the people that were here trying, basically for the subject that I was speaking on. Yes, he must have forgot where he came from. Exactly, sis. Exactly. And that's crazy, because especially when you in your reality, you know what I'm saying, it lets me know that you really didn't come from nothing to have that understanding. So the front that you put on makes me feel, like you just doing that for show. Because if you honestly and truly came from something, then how could you not have learned to have that understanding? Why didn't you realize that the same way you carry out in your reality is supposed to be the same way that you carry out in everything else? The fact that you didn't carry out in this situation from your reality, everything that's happened to you in your past, everything that affected you in your past, whatever type of struggles that you may have had or still having, you're not learning from it. You're not realizing things from it. You're not growing from it. He needs counseling, but I know he don't realize it. A lot of us don't. A lot of them don't. Like, and that's the unfortunate thing, It comes to a point where we're at a point now in society where there's literally a divide of people realizing and people not realizing, And it's unfortunate, but truth be told, that's how it should be for now, to get, so that the people that don't realize it, somebody, one by one, they'll start picking up those heads, and the light bulb will come on, like something's not right. Because you're going to constantly continue in frustration. You're going to continue to be frustrated, and you're going to continue to blame everybody else until everybody disappears, and then you have nobody else to blame but yourself. Because he can be getting counseling while being a content creator, and that's who will help him on his journey. Exactly. Exactly. And what they tell you all the time, what's the statement they say? um with more something comes more responsibility. Of course, when you move up in your life, or when something is changing for the better, you have to add on something that can contribute to your health too, so that you can continue to progress in that form. If you're not contributing to that, and you just contributing to the same things that you already had when you had nothing, you're going to stay in a nothing mind state. You're going to stay right there. I thought I heard Robbie come on for a second. I was gonna take a pause. I think that I think that this is something definitely continue us into a path of growth and developing our own platforms, and us, coming together and combining so that we can just progress with the right people and not have to worry about having background checks and psychiatric evaluations before we just openly accept certain platforms. So I'm not seeing him being able to handle that role without getting some help. To be honest with you, I'm not seeing that platform being in existence for very long if he doesn't get any help at all, because he's going to constantly offend people and feel as if someone owes him something. And that's sad because no one owes us anything. He doesn't even owe. Like, you don't have to apologize to me. I just was trying to get you to see a point that could potentially give you some growth. If you don't want to receive it, that's all on you. If I want to acknowledge it or talk about it, that is totally up to me, and that's something that you cannot control. And I have the right about my statement or my response, regardless to whom it may, offend on that end, because I was not the one that started this. I was not the one that caused him to make that move. It was his decision and his decision only. Yes, sis, I want to move forward with positivity. Exactly. We're going to continue to move positive, you know, because all of that calling people out and all of that, and rah rah. Me honestly and personally, anybody that brings that type of riffraff to the internet, they not about that in reality. So I kind of keep that from taking it personally, because it's like, that these people aren't close to you. You know what I'm saying? So for you to have so much anger and frustration about something on the internet, it's no point to me. If I try to keep a calm life, but if you ever feel that passionate to where you want to address me and me take it seriously with aggression, then you would have to reach out and say, where can we meet? Because other than that, is no point. I'm not gonna get worked up for for you wanting to, rant, you know, online. That's childish. I've been there before. And unfortunately, and to tell you the truth, I've only had those experiences with females. I've never had that experience with the male before. And to tell me that I'm not in my place is kind of weird. It shows a lot of femininity. And it speaks a lot about his upbringing, but I don't want to, offend something that's already tender. So people like you and Robbie, with y'all knowledge, can get on y'all platform and help people because of past experiences. Most definitely. Not just past experiences, but the fact that, you know, some of us have actually learned from those past experiences. A lot of people have they grow and develop mentally. They've learned how to uh defend or protect themselves from certain scenarios, not realizing that that was something that you were supposed to learn from. And when you learn from those experiences, you're able to heal properly and you're able to help somebody else. It's been a lot of enablement going on the social media streets with this subject just by itself, where it's like it's okay, or keep doing what you doing and don't worry about them. No, no, this is enablement. Just because you've done something in your past or you've made mistakes before, you cannot turn around and say, well, I understand. everybody understands. Everybody has made mistakes, but you become an enabler because you're not telling them or showing them where that there is growth, that there is actually something better in response to this. That's how you become an enabler. I don't want to be for enablement for no one, because I don't want enablement for myself. I want to be able to help somebody grow so everybody don't have to be crash dummies. And that's a real one. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't all have to be crash dummies and make these same mistakes so that we can have a testimony, but we don't necessarily help somebody else. No, I don't want to be that type of person. And I've been seeing a lot of that go on with a lot of different platforms just from this subject. And it's so disgusting to me. And a lot of people who enable is because they have a lot of narcissistic traits and they need some help. Because the ones that are screaming out and doing these actions, they are lost. You know, they don't know what to respond to. They don't know how to respond. They don't even know if the person, they don't realize that the people that's enabling them they're not truly for them. You can't be for them, because if you were there for them, then receiving criticism should be something that's stated, like, you don't have to be offended by that. Yes, I need to be able to have a platform to come to that can help with mental health. That will be so nice. Exactly, sis. And we about to get on it. We about to start like we started tonight. I said, let's go live. Let's get this in motion. You know what I'm saying? And everything else will come, and we'll grow with each other, especially with these topics that we're speaking on. We can grow for ourselves and grow with each other, and our platforms will grow at the same time, so that everybody who joins in, they can eventually get some growth as well, you know, and will continue to build in positivity. Unfortunately, our platforms may be starting off a little rocky with the negativity, but hey, it's going to bring us some views, but it's also going to bring us people who might tune in and say, okay, yeah, I can see where I need to sit in for a minute for myself. And everything that's being stated, I hope that everybody just opens up and realize that this is being stated for the betterment of yourselves, of myself, of everything, and is not any ill intent, you know? I wish that we could have put some little videos up of certain mental conditions and stuff like that. I want to evolve to get to that point too. So yes, I need to hear y'all talk to me every day. LOL. It helps me to understand and get through. I know that's right. It helped me too. That's why I've been so excited. Like, especially when I ran into you guys. Like, it's just been great ever since. Like, being able to speak and being able to have people around that speaking on the same thing and having the same understanding. It's so hard to find that nowadays. Sis, I don't know where what Robbie might. I hope she okay. I'm excited that we actually went live again today. Like, I feel like once we build up our consistency, it'll be great. Hold on, let me see something. Okay, okay. I feel so comfortable, and I don't get judged on y'all platform. Of course, there's no judgment over here. And see, a lot of people misinterpret when you give them some form of of criticism. They misinterpret that as judgment. and that's an unhealthy trait that happens in the community. And I just want to get away from that. Like, I don't want nobody to start, we gotta change that understanding in our mind frame to where we're no longer seeing it as things as judgment. I think a form of judgment, it has a different angle than it does as someone giving you, some advice contrary to agreeing with you. It comes with a different just mannerism, and the two always gets confused. And I hate that so much. You know what I'm saying? We got to be more open to people growing. I see you laughing, sis. I know, because I'm like, oh goodness, I got the mic by myself. And I understand, and that's why I gotta get my speech up more too, especially with a platform to talk, because normally, I would be quiet. And because I've been so excited to talk to y'all, I've been like, just talking and talking and talking. But on a platform, you can realize, you got the exercise, because you got to exercise your talking, because you're going to get up there and you're going to have to continue to communicate. You're going to have to continue to keep it something for everybody to, watch and be entertained at the same time. It says if you can pop your platform off and go, it'll help a lot of women like me. I need this. Yes, yes. And that's what I want to do. I want to pop everything and have more help, because I feel like because I got a sense of uh I'm gonna make up a word real quick. I'm gonna say hoodology in me. I got a sense of hoodology with a little bit of education. I feel like it'll start to reach a group of people that need it more, because I feel like the people that have it and they speak from a professional sense sometimes, they don't reach a lot of the people that need it. They're just communicating within each other. And I think that got to change a little bit. Yes, talking on a platform can be a lot. You'll get it because you're a talkative person. Yes. Once I get comfortable, I can get to going. And you know what? I was thinking about making some notes and just writing down so I won't forget what I want to say, because if I go into rambling mode, I'll be done forget all the points that I wanted to talk about. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to make me another live. And then before you know it, I got so many doggone lives, people ain't gonna be able to keep up. Yes, sis, I got that hoodology. And I know a lot of us do, you know what I'm saying? And so, it'd be good to get some healing mixed with some hoodology, something that people can relate to. And, because you got so many people trying to speak to a different environment with their professionalism, it makes you feel like, oh, they think they uppity, you know what I'm saying? Or you got to be in a sense of desperation, because you're trying to get help. Or me personally, I was in that mode, and it made me realize that it was my background and my past that got me to this point in healing. And it was my purpose. It was necessary for me to go through this so that I can reach out to my people. And that's what I want to do. I want to reach out to my people, because it's time for my people to come up. And that's not a crab in the bucket mentality. That's a mentality of me. You know what I'm saying? Trying to change the system, change the way things been going. It's time for us to not just have that hood rich. It's time for us to have that mental rich too. It's time for us to, change it up. Have you everything you want to talk about on that particular live? Yes. Yes, I don't like opening up to professional people. I feel like I'm being judged. Exactly. And sometimes they can't necessarily even understand, because they still have a sense in their mind of they better than. And I don't appreciate that, because nobody is better than nobody. You know what I'm saying? Your situation might be different from mine, but that don't make you better than me. or they try to make it seem like they more intelligent, or they're they have a better intellect. And I'm just like, no, that's not it. That has nothing to do with anything that goes on in your brain. Just because you know how to pronunciate your words, or because you have a educational background, or because you have so many accolades, that makes you better than someone. No, it does not. That means that you had less obstacles in your journey. The people that are actually better are the ones who had them obstacles they had to go through and they still made it. Those the ones. I mean, I'm going through mental health issues right now. Talking to y'all do help me. I can't even talk to my own family about certain things. Robbie says she's almost done. She's coming. Oh, that's fine. Yes, I felt that way too in my life too. And that's what actually drew me to y'all. Like, I felt like this was a new community that I was coming into, that could relate and understand. And I felt more comfortable, talking, with you guys about what I've been through, what I've learned throughout it all. And you know, sometimes family, because of the situations and because of being ill informed and because of, the help is just not there, or the help is just something that we can't necessarily understand. They don't get it. They don't get it all the time. And so I just want to change that and let you know, like, just be you don't have to be in a certain class or professional to receive this type of information. I'm bringing it to my people so we can continue to grow and spread the news. And guess what? And guess what, sis? I ain't got no cash app up for it. I ain't got no cash app up here for it. No, because I'ma spread my love. I'ma spread my love. You know what I'm saying? My family don't help. They have mental health issues as well and don't realize it. Exactly. Yes, in our community, they walk around and they don't realize that they're not no that is not normal. They don't realize that they have these mental conditions. They walk around every day thinking that they're okay. And it's so frightening, especially when you receive some type of help or healing, you know, and you go back and you see it. It's like, dang, like, it's bad. It's really bad. And so the fact that they don't see it, like, you don't know how many people I done told, go to therapy, and they'll say therapy. They'll look at me like I'm crazy, like, therapy, what is she talking about? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, that's why I wanted to build a platform so that, the ones who don't necessarily see or understand, you know, they'll be able to tune in and start to realize some things and be like, oh, like, okay, this is my platform is going to be a major lookout for my people. That's right, sis. But it's okay to post your cash app. It's just a way of doing things. Don't make people feel like you're obligated to send money. I know you won't do that though. No, I won't do it, sis. I am gonna post my cash app, once I get things to a certain level. You get what I'm saying? But I was just making a joke for the night, to let them know I ain't post my cash app tonight, because that was the statement, and they posting they cash app too. Like, there's nothing wrong with eating, and just like you said, it's just the way you do it. And so, yeah, no, I'm not that type of person. I got heart. I grew up with heart and I kept my heart pure. You know what I'm saying? You helped me see that I need counseling because honestly, I don't feel the need. Yes, and because when people hear of counseling or therapy, it automatically turns into, in their mind, it automatically turns into something negative. They think that it's something weird, or they think that's for crazy people, or they think, no, this is what you got to understand. People with real money, people with real success, they go to counseling all the time, constantly. They go to counseling constantly because they realize what type of world we are in. And the world that we are in is very competitive and it's very traumatizing. So if you want your life to evolve, you need to continue to have therapy to continue your evolvement mentally, because things that can come into your life, it can damage you. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't have the right people or the right systems within you in your life, you know what I'm saying? It can cause you to fail. It can cause you to fall from what you don't work so hard from. So a lot of people in higher up of this civilization, yes, they do go to counseling. They invest their money in that type of stuff like that because they know how valuable it is. It is us who, from the struggle, who don't necessarily have that unless we're either forced to, or unless we done been through so much to where it's caused us to, have so much mental damage. You know what I'm saying? That's when we start to have it. But by that far, in most cases, you already know, sis, it's too late. And you say, I felt like I didn't need it. I mean, of course, we all need it. We all need it. I tell people all the time, don't just go to church, go to therapy. Don't just go to church, go to therapy. I'm just in a place where I'm stuck in life, don't know how to pick up and go. Exactly. And this is the best time to get counseling, because when you feel like that, the pick up and go, when you go to counseling and you get that you take the steps that are needed, eventually you're going to realize, because first you got to realize where you are completely. And then once you do that, you're going to realize, well, where do I need to go? Which way do I need to go? And then you're going to also say after that, okay, so what do I pick up and go with? You get what I'm saying? All of these answers will like all of these answers will come to you once you receive and take the steps necessary for that mental healing. We do therapy, like with lighting the candles, that's therapy for us. We go get our pedicures, that's therapy for us. We put on our body care, and lose treatments like that. But a lot of people forget that just like you care about your physical, your body, you got to care about your brain, your inside. You know what I'm saying? It seems like a lot, and it is depressing, especially if you ill informed. But like once you do it, you'll realize how easy it is, how easy it can be, because we come from an environment where we don't know much more than what we know in our environment, you know, and for the most part, it's not necessarily healthy for us. We done got street smart, we know how to do this, we know how to do that, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta realize that our mental health it is not necessarily highlighted. I don't take my problems out on others, though, meaning that I don't I don't be mean to people just because I'm depressed, and sometimes I still think about people's feelings. Of course, that you want to know why, sis? Because you keeping your heart pure. You know what I'm saying? And the real ones know, especially in the environments that we come from, keeping that heart pure. That's the best thing, especially as a chain breaker and changing, how things turn around for you and your family. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep your heart pure. If you don't keep your heart pure, you'll fall asleep just like everybody else, walking around unaware of the things that they do and continue to self-sabotage. I don't like taking my problems out on people either, because I be feeling bad in the end, because I know, how, especially when I was, not receiving my growth and healing, I know how bad I could take it, and it used to make me feel so bad to even take it to that extreme when it didn't even have to be that extreme. So And, before I even got mental healing, I would just walk away. I would try to walk away. I would try to avoid it because that felt better than, just digging in somebody ass. Because even when I did dig in their ass, and I could do it, but it didn't feel great. It didn't feel good, and it didn't change nothing. It didn't change nothing at all. Sis, you back?
Yes, that was my narcissist.
Oh, okay. I was up here preaching a sermon. Thank you, Drika, for getting me through.
Thank you so much, Rika.
She got me
Anytime.
through, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't know. Man, I'm gonna move to Alaska and go live up under those lights. Okay, I'm about to go.
Drika said, I'm ready to get that balance that you talked about. Yes, it's such a beautiful feeling. It is such a beautiful feeling. It really is.
Let me turn this TV off, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I turned this. I forgot I had to switch.
You done missed most of the live, sis.
I know, man. I know. I'm gonna have to go back and read over stuff and listen to it on the team. I'm just so
Yes,
irritated. But this is like a prime example. We'll talk about it afterwards, offline. But this is like a prime example of what we talk about. So when I say each and every day we go through these triggers and we run across people that are narcissists and stuff like that. It's like a never ending story.
yes. Drika said we gotta stick together. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes, baby. Yes.
Yes. We
Like
definitely gonna stick together. We gonna grow and evolve. We gonna see each other platforms evolve. We gonna see, things get better. We gonna be improving and everything.
yes.
And look how fast we started too now, because we just came into, I know I just came into the mix, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we already moving, I know y'all probably been moving, and doing y'all thing, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that y'all was moving and then added me in and we moving, it's already happening. We already happening.
And then the way that we're moving, we're not requesting the fame or the clout or anything else from anybody else. We're not doing the drama, and all that other kind of crazy stuff. We're doing it in a positive manner, and that's the way
Right,
people are not moving anymore. People don't move
right,
positive. People need drama to succeed, and that's the way. And that's crazy. I don't feel that way.
right. I think this was a good live, sis. This was
Um,
a good live.
I'm definitely gonna go back and watch the part that I was called out on.
That's okay. It
Mm,
was a good one. I think this was a good one. I think we should do another one soon, and then we're gonna have some more conversations and stuff.
that's right, Draco. We gotta stick together, and I appreciate y'all. Y'all held me down tonight.
Yes. She said, I'm ready to learn some knowledge so I can pass it on. I want to help young girls. I want them to know what I went through. That's right. That's the
That's what.
only way we're gonna change it. We can't just walk around and just say, oh well, I understand. No, we got to say, this is what I went through, and this is how you could change it for yourself, so you don't have to go through that. So nobody has to go through that. Spread knowledge, spread the word.
Yep, and that's what we don't do in our community. We mind you, I know that people have to have businesses to make money and just different things, but in our community, it's not helping each other. They want to charge each other for everything. I understand everybody's got to make their money some kind of way, but trust and believe me, if I ever get a chance to get to the point where I can do some things to help some people and do some things, trust and believe. When they starting, there will be no charge because I
Right,
because I know where they're going to end up. So I'll get paid on the back end. But to start, there will be no charge. There will be no charge. But be the beef. But first, I have to get me together. You know what, sis? Even though people say things and people talk and people are this and people, everybody has everybody has to get themselves together, no matter how good or how put together they look. You feel me? Nobody is perfect. So
Right, don't wait on it. I'm telling you, don't wait for something to get together, because when you wait on it, you prolong it. You
mhm,
got to move with getting to it together, and that's how it will get together.
yeah, yeah. And then you got that right. You do have to give back. But see, listen to this. I'm gonna tell you. You know, you say you got to get yourself together. Here's a prime example of that. So for we're gonna use Robert. So for Robert's story, from the day that it happened, I've been following him. I've been tagging Vibe with Cal. I've been tagging people. I've been warning people. I've been commenting people. I've been deflecting people off stories. But at the end of the day, what do I get? I get what? What happened? You know what happened to me for no apparent reason. And then now that I'm building my platform the right way without um, clout chasing or being dramatic on here and doing this other kind of stuff, I still get told you money hungry and you clout chasing, right?
Right.
When I'm the furthest thing from clout chasing, although I could have been clout chasing, I could be bigger than a lot of people right now had I done that. Because remember, at the beginning, there was no one but me, and there wasn't many people. Put it like that. There wasn't many people, so I could have. So the fact that people say you cloud chasing me, whatever, it lets you know that no matter when you do it, it's never going to be the right time for somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, it do. It make you feel some kind of way, but you know what? It's all good because check this out. Can't nobody honestly say, oh, you did this because of this person did this for you. No, me and my sisters put this together. And don't you see,
That's right.
one of them is still excelling just like me? No, mm-mm. Sorry, boo boo. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's
Mm,
right. Look at the last posters. She said we got to be consistent. That's right. That's
mm.
it. That's all.
That's right. That's right. Because we have so much to talk about, and we may not have but one, two, zero people watching. Okay, it's fine, it's dandy, but at some point, somebody is going to see that. Somebody is going to remember something that Angie said. Somebody's going to remember something that Drika said. Somebody's going to remember something that I said. Now, mind you, look what we've done. This is what we've created, which nobody has done. And I'm going to put this out there right now so that when other people do it, they know that it started from here. We are in three different places, three different states. My live stream is showing, Angie's live stream is showing, and the only reason why Drika's is not showing is because she's not feeling well. So instead of just one person getting the views or getting people able to see it, all three of us are working together.
Together.
To
That's right. That's how you do it.
That's right. And people don't think of that. People don't care about togetherness. That's why our community and our what do you call us? Our kind of people are falling so far behind from other cultures. Our culture is falling so far behind from other cultures because we're so busy competing and trying to get one up on the next person in our culture. You got brothers against brothers, sisters against sisters. You know what I mean? It's absolutely insane.
Right.
Absolutely insane. I hate the fact, you know what I hate? Uh, and this is something that people say all the time, Black Lives Matter. Who do Black Lives Matter to? Because we don't love ourselves. We don't love each other. So we don't matter to each other. So if we don't matter to each other, what makes you think the people outside of us think we matter? We
Right.
have to start mattering to each other in order to,
Exactly.
you know what I mean, to gain respect from others. And it's like, what are y'all doing? Y'all rather see the next person down and get over on the next person opposed to keeping it straight, keeping it 100, and keeping it real and helping each other.
Right.
That's right, sis. They don't want the right message. They like negativity. But we are going to catch someone's attention, right? Because there are just as many negative people out there is searching for the next drama scene. There is just that many people out there looking for something that's calming, soothing, educational, just like normal. Like sister girls just hanging out talking about stuff that matters. Let's talk about our date. Let's talk about our shoes. Let's talk about our hair. Let's talk about how we do this, how we can help this, what's good for our body, what's good for our face. This is all the things that we talk about on our platform. A lot
Right.
of people are behind the scenes talking, but today was the beginning of the first day of us coming on the scene talking. So this is not the last. This is just a deep conversation we decided to have. But this is not the first. I mean, this is this. Well, it's not the first one. It's might be the first on the live, but it's not the first one, and it's definitely not going to be the last one.
That's right, sis.
After all the negative imagery and drama that's been going on lately, we need a platform to come and just release and hear some positivity. Exactly. And what I
Exactly.
when we first got this, I said this is a place for all of us to come and talk. We all need to talk about it. We all need to release. Let's just come here. Let's just do this. You know, and it's to me, I feel like it's been helping people. It helped us weed out some people. It helped us pull in some people. But at the end of the day, most of us that's been on this platform and talking when we decide that we're not going to be negative, we're not. Look how positive we've been, even during the times that we should be 10 times more negative. You know what I mean?
Right.
We've calmed down a bit and become very positive, and we're canceling out some of the negativity.
Showing them how it's done, sis. That's
Right.
right.
That's right. And mind you, we all have triggers. We all have points where we're going to, something's going to do whatever, because we're human. But for the most part, we are all trying to be positive. We inspire each other. Um, we're just good. But what we don't want someone coming over here being fake just to be lifted for that moment. Don't come over here and steal our soul and go back and spread it to some negativity. If you're gonna come over here and get some of our soul, come over here and stay. Feed back into us. You know what I mean? Once we
Right.
pour into you, feed back into us. Don't run away. Stay. Enjoy. Continue to be fed. You know?
Yes.
That's all I, man. Lord have mercy, Jesus, y'all.
Gonna be all right, sis. We getting it. We moving.
I'm so thankful for y'all. Good Lord, y'all just don't even know what I just went through. And I am so thankful for y'all. That's what I say. People have no clue what people go through.
Because
People have
they have that mentality where they think that they the only ones that's going through something.
absolutely, absolutely.
That's right, sis.
That's
People
right,
because
sis.
we
That's,
are beautiful souls. You
that's
see.
right. I got to store that right there. That's right, sis. Absolutely. And you know what I was told? What's wrong with the phone? Can y'all hear that?
Say it again.
It's echoing.
Yeah, I hear it.
I don't know what happened. Yeah. So I don't know why my computer just started echoing. This is weird.
Say it again.
My computer,
Nothing in there.
huh?
Mhm.
It's echoing too.
No, it's not echoing. Echoing in there.
Yeah, it might be coming in because there was
Yeah,
a
because everything was going good till that sound like a cue on it.
yeah, maybe it cut you off after whatever after a certain amount of time.
Right.
But I was about to say something, I forgot. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna because it's doing some crazy stuff. We can talk. We can go behind it. Yeah, you can hear echo too. Okay, so let's say something. Y'all say some even words. I'm gonna mute my phone because this echo was terrible. So y'all go ahead and say something if you want. And I'm saying y'all were like Drika can say something. Drika can say something and we'll read it, and Angie can say something.
Yeah.
Just say bye and thank you all for listening.
Bye, and thank you all for listening. Now, Drika, you gotta type it. Bye, and thank you all for listening. Now, look, the echo go away. Now I say I'm gonna turn it off. Yeah, you're welcome, sis. We love
Thank you, sis.
you. We love you. And I just want to say one more time, Angie, thank you
Hmm.
so much for carrying on while I handle the situation that I had to handle.
Of course, we hold each other together. We
That's right.
got to keep going forward. She said bye. Thank you for listening.
Okay. Okay, until we come back on, maybe later tonight, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Sometime, maybe we'll hang up and come right back. We don't know. It's say nope. Just depends on what the spirit brings. Okay, y'all. Bye.
All right.
Wait, don't hang up. Let me see what happens.